Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. It's Christmas. Finally, we made it. We're here. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you all. How is everybody? How did Christmas go? Did you have lots of presents, lots of family, lots of drinking, lots of football? What happened in your world? You tell me. Amy's first in chat. She gets the gold star. Hello, Amy. Merry Christmas. She says Matthew 5:4. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Because they're mourning. They need to be comforted. Amy says, Merry Christmas, Jake and Amanda, and to the UntetheredLive family. Merry Christmas indeed. And many happy tidings. And all the other words that go with that. God bless each and every one of us. Joining me is the amazing Banhammer. She says,
Hi, UntetheredLive family. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Happy Christmas. Happy Christmas to you.
Amy, here's your gold star.
All right.
Hi, Amy. Merry Christmas, everyone. Hi, UntetheredLive family. I hope everyone had a great day. Nope. It's Thursday now. Hey, Jake. How are you tonight?
Fat and sassy.
Imagine that.
And my wrist hurt from screwing.
I'm sorry. Told you.
Screwdrivering.
I told you. You got that. You was going to have to put it together. You didn't believe me.
Well, it's put together. Amy says, spent time with both my kids, my mom and my sister. Lots of good food. It was a good day. That sounds wonderful. I was at my sister's house, her kids, and we had a good time. We had a big dinner, big lovely dinner, ham dinner with candied yams and collard greens and all kinds of good stuff.
Corn souffle and macaroni and cheese.
And we brought snickernoodles and nobody even ate one.
Yeah, huh? Missy did.
Did she?
Yes, she did.
Good. We have any left?
Yes. No,
Good.
no, I left Missy the bag that I took over there. We have some here, though.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she ate a couple of them. She said those are the best ones she's ever tasted.
Good snickerdoodles. I like them too. They're good with coffee.
They're good in milk too. Me too, Amy.
Amy says, like, share, and invited some friends. Judy's here. Hi, Judy. Judith Vincent. Nice to see you. She says, hey, everyone, I can't stay. I just wanted to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. Well, Merry Christmas to you, too, and a Happy New Year, and I hope you're having a good time tonight.
Merry Christmas, Judy.
Thank you for dropping by.
Looks like it's a threesome right now.
That's the way it looks. There's 7 people watching, 8 people watching.
Hi, lookers. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to all you that don't want to talk.
Or that can't on your iPhones or whatever.
Right on. Amy says, Judy, heart. And Amanda says, anybody want to check out the chilling page? There it is. Go check it out. It's yours. With all the bells and whistles. Like, subscribe, share, support, join, and super chats are available in the chat box.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
What?
Nothing. Amber popped in. Go ahead. Sorry. Sorry.
I don't know where I'm at now.
Super chat. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
BJ.
Yeah.
PayPal.me/JakeJohnsonBand. Cash App $ Jake Johnson Band. Go check out the website. How about that? Hoodies are on the way. Amy says, I love snickerdoodles.
Yes, they're good.
And hi, lurkers. Please chat with us. Please? Yes. Amber's here. Hi, Amber. Amber says, very merry Christmas. Amy says, Amber, heart. Amber says, heart's back at you.
Hamburger hand. Hi, Amber. And Christmas tree.
Christmas tree. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Have yourself A merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletides gay. From now on, troubles will be far away. I wish I could still sing. Here we are, back in golden days. At an olden race for sure. Or however that song goes. I'm done. Amy says a cup of coffee sounds great. Right here with you. Thank you to the person that provides the coffee for the show. It's a great cup of joe, don't you know?
You're welcome.
Hits the spot right there in the gullet, right where my kidney stones are.
Right.
Yummy.
Yeah, it's been that way, Amber.
Amber says, anyone else thinking nap time? Can you see the haze dripping off of my eyes and the lackluster behind my brain power leaking out of my ear?
It's been that way.
Yes, it's nap time. Nap 30. Amber says, smiley, smiley. Yep, got full. Got tired. Lots of running around. Driving back and forth and back and forth.
Put a chair together.
Put a chair together, big old chair. Rocking chair. I don't need no rocking chair. Sister does, and I care.
Yeah, we got about an hour one earlier, and Amy says she took a nap earlier.
Right on.
Yeah, we took a little one before we left, but it didn't.
You did. I did not. I tossed and turned. I fell asleep for like 5 minutes, but then I got right back
dozed
up.
off for a minute.
I did, but I got right back up.
Oh.
I spent the rest of the time flipping through YouTube trying not to make noise. But I did lay there. And I got a little shut eye in my chair just before the show. I closed my eyes for a minute, but I didn't go to sleep. Just kind of zoned out and relaxed. You know how it goes.
Uh-huh.
Get it where you can get it. Amy says, my mom found a box of old photos and we went on a trip down memory lane.
Nice.
Oh, I hate it when that happens.
Nice.
There's always bitter memories back there. Some bitter memories back there. All the world outside is frightful, sunny and delightful. If ever you want to know,
it rained.
Pick your nose, pick your nose, pick your nose.
It rained, it rained, it rained. And it's 60 degrees in North Carolina on Christmas.
Yes.
It was a beautiful day.
Beautiful day.
Except for the rain.
Except for the rain. But it only rained over me.
Yeah.
As soon as we left the house, it was dry. I'm not kidding. It rained here. It did not rain there. It rained here. And only here.
I keep telling you, it rained here all day. It didn't rain at all at work. Well, it rained here all day long.
We live in a hole, apparently. Pictures of when my dad was stationed in Hawaii and I wasn't born yet, says Amy. Oh, wow. Oh, so you got the Magnum PI treatment back when Hawaii was mostly a cross between Japanese and American. Everything had that hodgepodge going on. That's the Hawaii I'd like to have visited. Yeah, I don't think I'd want to go there now. It's all touristy.
I heard it's all meth now, too.
But you go back to the 80s, Hawaii was banging. That was a great place to be in the 80s. In the 70s. Come on, I want to lay you. You know what I'm saying?
You want to do that anyway.
Hey, come on, licky licky. I know my Hawaiian. I speak it well. Amy says, aha. Come on, licky licky. Come on, I want to lay you. And I can play a wakalele.
Well, At least everybody's having a good time tonight.
I know, right? It's wonderful. It's
Yes.
wonderful to be with family and have friends and loved ones and a place to be and a place to be expected and a place where people are looking forward to seeing you. That's a wonderful feeling.
All the hugs and how you doing?
Yeah. Isn't it nice? Isn't it nice to be somebody, to have purpose? It's almost like it was designed that way by a guy that is in control.
Imagine that. What's that pay? What's that pay?
It pays a lot, actually.
I know.
Amy says, I'm still sick, but I'm in a good mood. Well, damn. Maybe you'll get over that being sick pretty soon. Have you tried some Mucinex to get some of that fluid out of your lungs? It might help. It never helped me that much, but it might help you.
Mucinex does me wonders.
That's what people say, but it didn't do anything for me.
I take a dose of Mucinex and a dose of NyQuil and go wrap up and go to bed, and next morning I'm fine.
Well, she has pneumonia.
I know.
That's not the flu. So it's a little different. She's got fluid on her lungs, probably a little pleurisy. And that's painful. Makes you feel like you're about to have a heart attack. A little pain right there. I need that tea, mullein tea. I've got some.
Yep.
You want me to send it to you? I'll send it to you. It'll be there in 3 days.
Or 4.
I've got some honey too. If you like, I'll send it to you. I wish I could get it to you today, but and mine's got frankincense and a couple of other things in it too, not just mullein. It's good for you all the way around. Tastes like ass, but it's really good for you. I won't glitter bomb you, I promise. All right, we'll wrap it up, put it in the mail tomorrow. Got to take care of my lady. Can't have you being sick on me. I'll send you some other stuff I got around here, too, if I can find anything that'll help. Don't need you being sick. I've tried everything under the sun to get my voice to come back, and there just ain't nothing touching it.
Yeah. Speaking of glitter bomb, Amy, we opened that envelope outside, right?
Yeah.
Well, we opened it not far from the walkway. So now, if you look, I noticed it earlier. I was looking outside from upstairs. You can see our pathway from where we come in off the porch in through the Florida room into the house, and you can see the glitter trail that's where it's gotten stuck on our shoes coming through the house.
Yay.
Yeah, and then there's a trail of it in our bedroom now too.
We do have a broom.
A broom is not going to get glitter up.
Yeah, but you could move it.
And it's on the carpet. I would have to vacuum it.
We do have a vacuum.
I know. I just noticed it today.
Vacuum glitter is forever, says Amy.
Right? It's not going to, broom ain't going to do it. No, but spread it around. Put it in the air.
Well, just think all year long we'll know about Amy's cheer. I mean, Amber's cheer.
Yeah, right.
Amber cheer everywhere. Amber cheer here, amber cheer there, amber cheer on the bottom of my foot. Amber cheer on my nose.
On the dog.
On the dog. The cats have an amber cheer.
Oh, yeah, because the cats are all in it.
Put some catnip on it. They'll get rid of it for us. Rolling around and just carry it off.
That would be hilarious. I might do that. I might buy a bag of catnip just to put it out there and watch them.
Amber says, whoa, I got dropped. LOL.
That's funny. We were talking about you while you were gone. You missed it.
Amy says, if it's outside, the cats will be rolling around in it. They are.
Yeah.
They are. Amber says, smiley, smiley.
But it's going to be funny. I can get some catnip and dump the catnip on where they haven't rolled in it yet and let them roll in it. And they really be covered in glitter then.
Oh, yeah. Kevin Bernard's here. He says, Merry Christmas to all. Merry Christmas to you, my brother. Nice to see you. How are you?
Merry Christmas, Kevin. Hi.
Have a merry, merry Christmas. It's a wonderful time of year.
Hope you're having a great day, Kevin.
Jingle bells and all that. Amber says, I warned y'all about the glitter. That's love.
Well, since you got dropped, you didn't hear what I was saying. I noticed today that where we opened the card at, we opened it outside, but it was close to where we walked to come in the house. And I was standing upstairs looking outside today, and I could see a trail of where we walk into the house of glitter that has gotten stuck on our shoes from going in and out of the house.
I think you were just stoned.
No. I'll show you. Well, you may not be able to see it now. It's dark.
Amy says, Merry Christmas, Kevin.
I'd have to put the flashlight on it. Maybe you could see it then.
Are you having a big, beautiful dinner at your house there, Kev? Kids all around, everybody bickering about something political? Lovely. I had a snake at my Christmas dinner.
2 of them. He's got 2 snakes in there.
Wonderful.
They're just little pythons.
Wonderful. Kevin says, just got back from my son's house. Nice. Hope y'all had a wonderful dinner. Amber says, very Merry Christmas, Kevin. Absolutely. Amy says, snakes? Yes, ball pythons.
Regular ball python, and the other one, he had a little albino ball python.
My niece's boyfriend, baby daddy. The mouth.
I don't even... Never mind.
What?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing. Never mind. I'll tell you later.
Okie dokie. Well, that's not very nice. Secrets don't make friends. Amy says, baby daddy? Yeah. Second baby daddy. But she's very pregnant and very happy. That's wonderful. And we had a good little Christmas there, opening presents.
Yeah, very pregnant. She's got 3.5 weeks left.
Yep. Bursting at the seams. A young little boy ready to come into the world. Terrorizing. As little boys should do.
Boys are much easier than girls.
Amy says, oh, I like new babies. Me too. It's when they're 13 or 14. I can't stand little bastards.
Get off my lawn.
I love babies. I'm a baby dude. I was always quite natural with babies. They just kind of took to me. Kevin says, the visit was nice, but I hate having to go outside in the cold to smoke. Oh, I know that, right?
Oh, Kevin, I could hurt your feelings then. It's been 60 degrees here today. It's been beautiful.
I just don't go anywhere where I have to go outside and smoke.
When I smoked, I never smoked in my house, so.
I say, you've known me all my life. I didn't start now, and I'm not going to quit now. But I do understand. Some people just can't have it. Say, your fresh air is bothering me. You don't hear me complaining about it. My favorite is when you go outside to smoke and there's this little old lady that inevitably walks by and goes, when you're out there smoking. I just pipe up and say, geez, lady, I smoke 2 packs a day and don't cough like that. You should see a doctor. Be getting smart with me. Amy says, I hear you, Kevin. Yeah, it's tough. Kevin says, nice to sit down to a hot cup of coffee and a cigarette. I hear you, brother. I'm with you. Cheers. That's just what I need. Christmas Eve feels like midnight. It does. It's been such a long day. It just feels like we're at midnight now. Amber says, oh my gosh, Kevin, awesome idea. Cigarette and coffee. That's right. Amy says, I'm doing that exact thing right now, Kevin. It seems like a pattern.
Y'all sound like a bunch of old people.
We are a bunch of old people. Yes, we are. You keep running your mouth, we're going to start talking about our bowels. You little whippersnapper. Anybody check the mail today?
No, it's Christmas. It didn't run today.
It doesn't matter. We'll talk about it for an hour. For some reason, the logistics of mail checking is very important to old people. And our bowel movements. And the weather. And our shoulder, the bursitis is acting up again.
Uh-huh. Them damn hemorrhoids.
Got to make sure everybody knows about it, too. Kevin says it was almost 50 degrees today, but it got cold fast. Oh, it does. Yes, it does. As soon as that sun starts going down, it'll drop temperature like a bad habit. Amy says, I checked the mail today. I forgot yesterday. See? Told you. No, there ain't nothing in the mail. We got to check it anyway. I mean, if there is anything in there, it's just a bill or some shit I'm going to throw in the trash, but got to check it. Getting old. What a wonderful thing to do. Who'd have thunk it when you were climbing trees and jumping over cars and skipping school? Who'd have thought that one day you'd be talking about your bowel movements and checking the mail? Kevin says, I managed to get in some barbecued ribs today. Right. We had ham and candied yams and collard greens and corn souffle and
Macaroni and cheese.
Biscuits. What else?
Collards.
I said collards. I thought I did. I was thinking it anyway. Oh, my God. Amy says, my sister's older than me. She broke her ribs washing her hair.
How do you do that? How do you do that?
I don't know. Tricky, I guess. Tricky hair washing move. Amy says, I got a bulk mail coupon. Nice. Kevin's like, what? Is she okay?
I mean, I've got pretty long hair, but I've never broke my ribs washing my hair.
Leaning over the tub, she says. I can see how that would happen, though, because that little rail gets kind of sharp when you're leaning over washing the back of your hair.
I mean, yeah, I reckon.
I've done it before.
I don't try to wash my hair. My hair's too long to wash under the faucet. I have to have a handheld shower head.
Kevin says, that's some brittle ribs. Well, when you get up there, your bones get kind of brittle. Oh, the hips go and the ribs go and the shoulders go.
I mean,
ankles.
I reckon.
And then your tendons start tightening up and you can't hardly move your fingers anymore. Getting old ain't for sissies, I can tell you that. And I ain't even got old yet. I'm just right at the edge of it. The reason I feel old is because I've been so hard on my body all my life. And I feel 10, 12 years older than I am. Kevin says, I've broken 8 of my ribs at different times. I've only had 2 broken ribs, and I don't want to do it again.
I had 6 broken in my car accident.
Mine were broke from being jacked open to get to my lung. I had a lung surgery, and they had to break 2 ribs to get in there. Amy says, you're younger than me, Jake. Only physically. A sneeze is brutal. Yeah. Yeah, when I was 20 years old, I could fall out of a tree and hit every branch on the way down and get up and walk it off like it was nothing. Today, if I sneeze wrong, I might be out of work for 3 days. That's a fact. Amy says, Kevin, women my age, a sneeze could cause a bathroom run. Oh, yeah, that little flap gets loose. A little pressure causes you to squirt all over the place. I get you. And Kevin says, LOL. Yep. I've known women like that. You make them laugh, they'll peel themselves. Amy says, it all depends. It all depends. I hadn't got that old yet. I hope I never do. But sure it's coming. Or the exact opposite, not being able to be. That'd be even worse. What do you say, Kev? Would you rather pee at a drop of a hat or not be able to pee? I think either one's bad, but one's definitely worse than the other. Amy says, I'm sure it's coming. That's what he said. I swear this has never happened before. Kevin says 62 here and have to pee just about every time I stand up. I'm up to about an hour, every hour I got to pee. But I haven't had to pee when I stood up yet. I've never been a holder, though. I don't believe in that. So I've never been one of those to hold it. When it's time to go, it's time to go. But that time has definitely increased as I've gotten older. I used to pee about twice a day, and now I pee about twice an hour. Right, and I'm learning not to stand up fast. Or stand up, period. Yeah, I'd say if you had that problem, I would find ways to get around it, for sure. Scooching on your chair to get places. Well, what'd you get for Christmas? Y'all tell me what you got for Christmas. I got some new boots. And some new teeth. And some new shirts. And a ring that I can play slide with. Amy says, my mom's MRI showed she had degeneration disc disease. And she has 6 slip discs in her back. Wow, is that recent? Is that today? That's not a good thing. And what'd you get for Christmas?
I got a new electric skillet and a shirt and a dryer.
Nice.
It's coming.
Yeah, some of the things are coming still, but we got them. That's all that matters. What'd Santa Claus bring you, Kev? Amy says she's doing the physical therapy and they won't do surgery because of her age. Yes. And Kevin says, I'm bone to bone, L1 through L5. Yep. I have 2 vertebrae in my neck that are fused. I have no range of motion. That's it. I'm a straight looker. If I want to turn my head, I got to turn my whole body to look to the left. I'm with you. I know what that's like. I don't have any screws, though. I can say that. I know lots of people talking about I got screws in my leg and my neck and my bones. I don't have any of that. It's all bone. It's just, they just welded it together. It is manageable, yes. It's manageable, but sometimes it's a pain in the neck. No pun intended. That's why God invented painkillers. Amen. If it wasn't for that, some of us couldn't survive. I haven't had one in quite a while, but I remember when I needed them. Amy says, I got a thing of homemade cookies, a prepaid Visa card, cash. Cash is king, yes. And an electric crock pot. Nice. Cooktop. Nice. That's a good gift. All of those are useful. Prepaid Visa card especially. I'm with you there. I like cash. Kevin says, question for Jake. If Enoch was kept in heaven, who wrote the books of Enoch? Well, he says he did while he was traveling back and forth. He was taken to heaven at the end of his travels. So he wrote down his manuscripts according to Enoch. I haven't finished the book yet, so I can't answer that in detail, but from what I've read so far, he's the one talking about writing it down. And he's not been taken to heaven yet. We're in the second book, and he's still traveling around with the angels. So he's been to heaven, but he's not staying there. The Bible says that Enoch walked with God in his day, which means at some point God takes him to heaven. But he's got things to do in this book and things to record, and God told him to write all of this down in the first book. So that's what he's doing, like bearing record, bearing witness and keeping record of everything he sees. So I assume he wrote them. But it's like all documents. Who knows who wrote them all? Maybe eyewitnesses, maybe scribes, maybe he dictated and someone else wrote it. Who knows? It's amazing to me that we have such clarity in these books and such detail, because I've lived an entire life and I've never written anything down that I've done. He wrote the Bible, or a part of it. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty impressive. And it's so accurate and so detailed and so trustworthy, the portions that I've read of his books, that it makes me wonder. And thanks for clearing that up. You're welcome. Again, I'm still learning too. Enoch is not my area of expertise. I'm new to this book just like you are. So I'm pondering it and considering it and comparing it to the Bible as we go. So right now I'm caught up to about the 38th, 39th chapter, something like that. Amy says, like Paul, who had a scribe because he was nearly blind, except for the letters to the churches, a couple of them. He didn't write all of them. He did write a couple of them, though. And he even tells them, you see how big the handwriting is? That's because I wrote this myself, right? So that's in there. But yeah, he was nearly blind, so he had other people write, and he dictated. So when people say, well, Paul didn't write the books of Paul, well, he did, but he was dictating, and someone else was writing it down. Except for a couple of the church letters. And he was pretty serious about those, so he had to write it in his own hand. And apparently, it was not just that he was almost blind, but apparently it was quite gross to look at. And I think his eyes probably weeped or something, because he said he was amazed that his friends didn't pluck his eyes out when they saw it. He was gracious to them for accepting him as he was. He might have been cross-eyed or something grotesque, you know. And Amy says, yes, I was paying attention during the reading. I know you were. Kevin says, Amber's being awful quiet. Yeah, Amber. She might have got kicked out again. Might have lost her internet. Are you still with us, Amber? Amber, dear? Oh, Amber. Oh, she might be getting a cup of coffee, too, says Amy. That's a thought. She did say she wanted some coffee. What do you do when you eat so much you're lethargic? Pass out? That's what I'm thinking.
I'd say so.
Amy says, imagine Amber having to swim through a sea of glitter to get to her kitchen. Probably. She probably got it up to her knees. That's funny. She's a glitter princess. And stickers everywhere. Little Hello Kitty stickers. Glitter and stickers, that's right. Hey, John. John says, God bless all of you. And Merry Christmas. Sorry for the absence. Got banned battling leftist BS. Couldn't do anything about it. It was a full 90 days before I even realized I could reopen again. Well, hello, John.
You know who that is?
Yes.
Fablios.
It's nice to see you, buddy. I have been worried about you.
Yep, welcome back. Hi, man.
Kevin says, Amber's gonna be clearing up glitter until late spring, right? Amy says, hey, John F. Kevin says, hello, John. Yeah, we've been worried sick about you, man. We thought you done dropped off the face of the earth. Nice to see you, and Merry Christmas. How have you been? And did you have a good Christmas? You missed a lot of interesting stuff happening. We gave away some hoodies. We got some new members. We grew a little bit. Had some cool stuff happen. Linda's here. She says, good evening, family. Hi, Linda. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Linda.
Kevin says, hello, Linda. Hey, oh, Alina. Is that Mr. P? Yes, it is, Amy. Amy says, hi, Linda. Well, it was Mr. P. He hadn't said anything since he said hello. We have another John, and at first I thought it was him, but then I saw the F. There he is. John says, hi, gang. I missed y'all for sure. No doubt about it. I'll listen in, and you'll see me back around, and I'm okay. I didn't do anything for this Christmas. It's tough everyone stayed at home instead of coming back. Well, I wish I'd have known that, Mr. P. I'd have sent you something. I didn't know. But God bless you, and thank you for coming back around. We missed you. And Linda says, Mr. P, I've missed you. Heart exclamation point. Amy says, welcome back, Mr. P. Now, I reached out a couple times a while back to your email address, and I never got an answer, so I figured something might have happened. I'm grateful to know that you're okay. John says, thanks, guys. Our pleasure. I missed y'all too, says John. Well, I'm glad to hear you're doing okay. That's a load off of my heart.
Yes.
Thank you, Father, for small miracles. We finished the Bible again, and we started reading the book of Enoch. Amy says he really was worried, talking about me. I was. And it's going to be a wonderful year next year. I see a lot of good things. I see some more hyperboles happening, a bunch of shorts being dropped, because now that I've learned how to make shorts out of old videos, A lot of key moments are going to be posted. Going to be some new stuff happening, some new merchandise coming out. Going to be a good year. I'm excited. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
You want more?
Yes, please. Amy says, we have new members, and we lost a few over disagreement. And Jake tried to make it right, but this person was stubborn. It happens. It does happen occasionally. Amy says, a few stubborn people. Yes. Well, listen, everybody can't get on the same wavelength all the time. There's going to be some people out there that just do not understand what's happening. And when that happens, heads butt and people act in different ways. And then you got new people coming in on top of people that know each other, and it feels odd to them. And, you know, sometimes it's not compatible, and that happens. But for the most part, we don't ever have any trouble. And John says, I appreciate it, and I figured you were. I got fed up with this YouTube thing. I could have easily set up another account and brushed it off. YouTube doesn't want anyone saying anything against the narrative. I know. I get punished for that quite a lot. I refuse to carry the narrative. I say what I think all the time. I refuse to be censored, but I paid for it a few times. And it's something I don't like to support. I'm with you there, John. The only reason I'm here is because somebody needs to be saying something true on this platform. That's the reason I came here. But I'm with you. I understand the irony of supporting the thing that's censoring you, but we are winning this war, believe it or not. Slowly but surely, they've come back a long way from where they were 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And now things are allowed that were not allowed even a year ago. For example, now you can talk about COVID-19. You couldn't for a long time. If you even said those words, you got flagged. So that's what I got my videos taken down about 5 times because of that. They said I was spreading disinformation. I was like, no, I'm telling the truth. Here's the science to prove it. And that didn't matter. So I'm with you there. Amy says there was a huge drama moment over a typo. I laugh about it now. Yep. The one that gets me the most, though, is when I'm teaching and somebody disagrees with something I say, and then they throw their hands up and leave after they've been here for like 3 years. That's painful. Because you knew that coming in that I was going to be saying things that don't fit what everybody else says. I've been upfront about it. If you read the description, it's in the description that that's going to happen. And yet, every time it seems to cause a problem. I don't like losing people, but sometimes you have to. And it's probably better for the channel if you prune people every now and then that act that way. In the long run. But I hope that we're through that. And I hope we don't have any more of those issues. And I hope that I've talked long enough that I've gained some form of trust. That even if I'm in the wrong about something, that at least you know I'm not intentionally trying to mislead you. But whatever. I go where God tells me to go. And sometimes it's going to disagree with what you've heard before. Amy says, right, Jake teaches from the Bible, not from the politically correct opinion of the day. Yes. And sometimes that gets under people's skin, but it happens. And Kevin says, there are some things I don't agree with Jake on, but it's not my job to oppose what people believe, right? And I've never said that you had to agree with me. I'm teaching a narrative that I've come to understand to be the truth that goes against what I was taught. And that's the reason I'm teaching it, because I think that what I was taught was wrong. And it's up to you whether you believe it or not. I'm just putting it out there. But some people think that if they don't agree with every word I say, then they can't be any part of what I'm doing. And I'm like, does that happen in any part of life ever? Nobody agrees with anybody 100%. You take the good stuff and you put the bad stuff or the disagreeing stuff on the shelf. And John says, I do have some typos sometimes, and yes, we don't always gotta get along. But sometimes we have off days. A lot of love for this group, though, and also for the dedication you have to God. Oh, thank you for that. And I hope that's good enough. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we're not always going to agree with everything. I'm not always going to say everything you think is true. You just move past those things. I believe what I believe. At least I'm not lying to you. I'm not tricking you. I'm not trying to convince you of anything. I'm just telling you what I think is true. And you can respect that even if you don't agree with it. Some people can't, though. Some people make a big deal about it. I don't know how to deal with those people, so we end up butting heads. Debbie, hello, darling. She says, Merry Christmas, everybody. Hi, Debbie. Merry Christmas to you. I hope you had a wonderful day.
Hi, Debbie. Merry Christmas, hon.
Debbie, have you met John Faflios? He's back. John, Debbie, John.
Mr. P.
Mr. P. Kevin says, hello, Debbie. And Amy says, Merry Christmas, Debbie. Linda says, hi, hi, Kevin and Debbie. Debbie says, Linda, did you take care of Kevin in my absence? Amy says, you take the good, you take the bad, you take the facts of life. That's right. Kevin says, I'm way ahead because I have no religious education prior to this Bible study. Right on, buddy. I did. I was raised Pentecostal holiness. That's the ones that run up and down the aisles and speak in tongues and all that stuff. And I come to understand that that felt very fake to me, which is what led me down the path I started on. And that's why I'm here now teaching what I think the truth is. And that's all that any pastor can do, is tell what he thinks is the truth. And hopefully that can be respected, even if you don't agree with me. At least you know I'm not lying to you. I might be wrong, but I'm not lying to you. I wholeheartedly believe what I teach. All of it. And I'm certainly not trying to get away with anything. And Debbie says, hi, John. Redeemed is back. Hello, Redeemed. Merry Christmas. He says, second time listener. I'm a fan already. Well, I'm glad you're here, Redeemed. And indeed, we all are redeemed in the blood of the Lamb. I love the name. Amy says, hi, Redeemed. Welcome back. And John says, YouTube changes up the names that they show. It's goofy, and I remember Debbie. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know because they did change the names. And I have to, every now and then, somebody will come in and talk to me, but I don't recognize the name because they changed them. So the name I got used to, I don't know it. I don't know why they did that. It doesn't seem to do anything. Why mess with people like that? Kevin says, hello, Redeemed. Redeemed says, hi, everybody. Merry Christmas. And Debbie says, don't believe your memory, John. I am the voice of reason and innocence here. Yeah. In a pig's eye. And John says, welcome, Redeemed. Amy says, smiley face. Kevin says, I think chapters in the Bible can mean different things to different people at different times. I agree with that, actually. I know that you can read the Bible 3 times, and every time you read it, you'll get something that you didn't get the last time out of it because your understanding is more and your intention is more, your interest is higher. And for some reason, It's like a pregnant book. And the more you read it, the more you glean from it. And you can do that as many times as you want. You're still going to see something you didn't see before. So I agree that different people who are in different parts of their lives and under different circumstances will gain different understandings from the things that they read. Right. That's why what I do is interpret the Bible. I'm not telling you that I know everything. I'm not telling you that I'm right and everybody's wrong. I'm interpreting it through my lens. We all see through a glass darkly. We all interpret the world around us. I'm just doing my part to interpret this version of it. And it might jive with your life and it might not. If it does, we have a nice church. If it does not, we have a nice conversation. I don't see the problem there. Some people do. Amanda says,
Lies, Debbie. Lies. You are so far from it. You corrupted us. LOL.
Debbie's a sweetheart.
She corrupted us. She's a dirty little girl.
Amy says, just mention pickles and watch the innocence flow. Pickled feet? What?
Right.
John says, oh, okay. Maybe there's more than that. Maybe there's more than one Debbie. Could be, possibly. That's the one and the same.
Mr. P, Debbie just fed you a line of shit. Be careful. She'll have you tied up in her basement next. Ask Kevin.
What it is, Merry Christmas. What it is says, ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas and hello, Jake and Amanda, and to all the Untethered Live family. Hi, what it is. Merry Christmas. How are you, buddy?
Hi, what it is. Merry Christmas.
Nice to see you. Amy says, hey, what it is. And Redeemed says, pregnant book, LOL. I love that. That is true, though. It is. It is pregnant. It keeps growing, and it keeps producing. The more you read it, the more you glean from it. That is fact. It's the first hyperlinked book also. No matter where you are in the Bible, it points to every other part of the Bible. It's the only book in the world that does that. I see new things every time I read an old passage, says Redeemed. As you should. That means that you're getting somewhere. And Debbie says, welcome to my parlor, said the spider to the fly.
Uh-huh. Better be watching out. She'll get you.
Kevin says, Mr. P, if Debbie's wearing black leather, hip-high boots, run. Yes.
She'll have you tied up and oiled up. You'll be next.
And John says, yes, Jake, this is the relationship thing I point at. If you're in different phases of your life, reading something could be clear cut to a believer, and then you have someone who's fighting against it. Right. Which is why an interpreter is important. It's important to have so you can make sense of the thing that you're fighting with. But people haven't always figured it out, right? This is a ministry. This thing that I'm doing is a ministry. And I'm building a church. Everybody that comes in here don't want to be part of a church. They want to talk and just have a good time and go on about their business. But that's not what we're doing here. So the people that are here are on the same page. They've been with me through the Bible. They're up to speed with what we're talking about. They're in the same frame of mind as a church does. And then you get somebody come in that's not part of that. Next thing you know, we're in a big disagreement. Well, you have to stick it out. You have to be part of the team. You have to go the journey with the people. That's how you get on the same page. But in different portions of people's lives, different things mean different things to them at that point. You are correct. I just wish that everybody had the wherewithal to recognize that. Everybody doesn't.
Thank you very much for becoming a member, Redeemed.
Oh, welcome, Redeemed. Thank you for being a member. Look at that J tag you got. Don't that make you look way smarter? It does.
Fabulous.
Kevin says, hello, what it is? Amanda.
How what it is? Nice. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say nice. Thank you, Redeemed.
Yes. Amy says, Jake Johnson's pickle pouch. Yes, pickle in a pouch. If you're ready for an ouch, get a pickle in a pouch. Debbie says, black leather boots means mama wants to play. Wow. Have her over there talking like Catwoman in the 60s. John says, haha. Debbie says, backgammon. I like to play backgammon. What it is says, good to be seen rather than being viewed. Right? And Redeemed becomes a member. He's got his J tag. Congratulations, my friend. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the family. Do yourself a favor and go watch Hyperbole. It's a show in the members section. There's going to be more coming this year, but I've got 6 episodes up, and you will love them. I think. That's one of the perks of being a member. You get to see the good stuff. It's going to blow your mind. You already said that. What it is says, that's a coffin. I got it. Nice to be seen rather than being viewed. I got it. Amy says, thank you, Redeemed, for supporting the channel. Yes, thank you. And Linda says, welcome, Redeemed. What it is says, so Jake, are you the same as a theologian? I am a theologian. I am a scholar who studies the Bible. Yes. Technically, I'm a theologian. I have education in theology. And that's the reason that I can be a pastor effectively. It doesn't mean anything, though. It just means I've read the Bible more than you have. That's it. That's all it means. And Redeemed says, heart. Amy says, I'm glad Jake takes the time to explain the Bible in context and how it relates to other parts of the Bible. Thank you, ma'am. I try very hard to do so. Because even if you disagree with me, you can't argue with the science. And what I'm doing is drawing lines to things that existed, and those things are true. So even if you disagree with my worldview, you can still get the history. You can still get the science. You can still get the understanding, even if you come to a different conclusion. I'm okay with that. It's not my job to save you. I can't do that. I can guide you, but I can't save you, and I can't convert you. That's between you and God, and I won't try to. All I can do is tell you what I think is right. That's it. And Debbie says, I can do Eartha Kitt. Meow. Yes. Purr. It's perfect. Meow. Amy says, there's also members only band videos. Yep, there's a couple of videos of me playing guitar in there. Redeem says, Lamau, I'm still not smart, but I love the honesty here. Thank you. I try very hard to be honest and open. I try to hide nothing. Gets me in trouble sometimes, but I try to be very open with you guys. Open book. Ask a question, I'll answer it, honestly. Redeem says, will do. What it is says, my ears kind of get perked up when I hear that word. This is my interpretation, because that in the wrong hands can steer people into a completely different direction if they don't hear the right things. You are correct. Listen, if you read the Bible, it tells you what a pastor is in the Bible. It tells you that God calls them and sends them to do a job. And then it tells you what that job entails. It tells you how you're going to feed yourself. It tells you how you're going to take care of yourself while you're doing this job. And it tells you what the responsibility of this job is and the punishment that comes with it if you get it wrong. I am very well aware of what my job is. I'm acutely aware that if I lead you astray, if I lead you down the wrong path and that causes you to sin or causes you to err away from the Word of God and to do things against what He wants, your sins are on me, not you. because I'm the one that led you that way. I'm the one that's going to get punished for it. So I'm acutely aware of that. And I take it very seriously. I don't play around. I try to have fun and do this thing in a human way without being all stuffy and pious and trying to pretend like I'm something I'm not. I don't wear a suit or a Rolex or anything like that. I try to be honest, but I am acutely aware of what my interpretation could cause. So I always err on the side of caution, and I defer to the Bible. When I tell you something that's my opinion, I stress that it's my opinion. This is what I think. It's not biblical. This is what I think. But if I tell you something that's a fact from the Bible, it's in the Bible. And I made no mistake. So I hope that helps. But you should perk up. That's called discernment. And you should be aware of how people teach and how they can teach you the wrong thing. Go listen to Joel Osteen for 5 minutes and you'll hear somebody teaching you the wrong thing. Or Kenneth Copeland. That's why I'm here. I'll never be as big as those guys. Hopefully I will be, but I doubt it.
Or Joyce Meyer.
Or Joyce Meyer. But if I can affect a small group of people, then I feel like I've done something good for God. Fab Daddy, Merry Christmas. Fab Daddy says, hi, everybody. I'm stuffed full of food, and the bed is calling my name. Oh, I know. Me too. I'm here for you. If it were for me, I'd be in bed.
Hi, Fab. Merry Christmas.
I hope you got lots of presents from Santa Claus, and I hope you enjoyed your family. Amy says, what it is, the Bible warns of false pastors. Yes, it does. And you are absolutely right to watch out for them, including me. If you get to feeling like I'm telling you something wrong, call me out on it and make me tell you where I got my information from, and I will. The Bible says you have to always be prepared to answer a question, or you shouldn't be doing this. If you can't answer a question, you shouldn't be doing this. So if you feel like I'm leading you astray, call me out in front of God and everybody. Don't wait. And I will answer what I think is true. Amy says, hey, Fab, heart. And Linda says, hey, Fab, wave your hand.
Hey, Fab. Hamburger helper hand?
There you go. Amy says, like the woke churches who blatantly reject Bible teachings because it makes people uncomfortable about God's word. Yes. Yeah, stay as far away from those as you can. And I hate to say this because in the Bible, God used a lot of them. But in modern times, if there's a woman pastor, don't go to that church. That woman is lying to you. Now, I hate to say that, but I've looked and everyone I've ever seen has been some form of what she just said. Somebody that's twisting the word to their own benefit. Female pastors are not a good thing in this today's society. If you go back to biblical times, though, God used a lot of women who did wonderful things for God. But go read what they did, and it ain't what these women are doing. Like Rebecca. Go read what Rebecca did. Or Rachel. A lot of good women in the Bible. And then people say, well, don't the Bible say that women shouldn't be chattering in the church? Well, no, Paul said that. And the reason he said that is because they were chattering in the church. Yap, 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 yap. They were making it their own personal gossip corner. And he's against that. You come to church to hear the word of God. You don't be talking in church. That goes for men too, by the way. Redeem says, what it is, listen close. Fab Daddy says, watching from under the covers until my unconsciousness takes effect. I can see it now, dark in the room, and the only thing sticking out of the covers is Fab's mustache. Yep. I'm with you, buddy. Amy says, Fab Daddy, do you have a foot baby?
A food baby.
A food baby? Do you have a food baby?
I'm eating too much.
Fab Daddy says, no. I am giving birth to a small elephant, though.
The trunk's already sticking out.
what it is, I'm just letting you know that I'm aware of that word interpretation, and I know that you seem to know your stuff, or else I wouldn't be coming back. I show up, I've heard bullshit, I wouldn't be here. I hear you. No, I don't bullshit. That's one thing you can believe. For example, we're reading the book of Enoch right now. The first thing I did when I opened up that first show, if you go back and watch, I said, this is not my area of expertise. This is not what I'm an authority on. I have no education in the book of Enoch. I'm learning it just like you are. I will ponder and I will tell you what I think as I read, but I don't know where this is going and I don't know what we're talking about here. So if you're okay with that, let's get into it. Maybe not in those words, but I said it. Now, adversely, the book of Genesis, that is where I have an authority. I do have an education in that book. When I tell you something in that book, you can count on it. But it's not that way in the book of Enoch. In the book of Enoch, I'm just presenting it. I don't have any education in it. I don't know the ins and outs. I haven't studied it for 30 years. It's new. But it is related to the Bible, and it's worth knowing. So we're going to go through it. But I'm glad that you're honest about it, and I'm glad that you stand your ground and you've said that. And I hope that my response to it is the appropriate one. What's your thoughts on Geno Jennings? Have you ever heard of him? I don't think so. I've heard of Shooter Jennings, and there's a couple of Jennings cousins who are out there playing music, but I'm not familiar with them because they're mostly into rap and things like that. But who's Geno Jennings? I'm assuming you mean somebody who's related to Waylon Jennings. Amy says, rubs my full belly. I've got a food baby. I hear you. Fab Daddy says, yes, Merry Christmas, Jake. I got bread flour as a gift. It looks like I can eat for a month. Hey, that's a good thing, right? Although I would say, teach a man or make a man a sandwich he can eat for a day. Teach a man to make a sandwich he can eat for a day. And probably another one. Amy says, I've never heard of Geno Jennings. I'm not sure if I have. Redeem says, amen. No women pastors. They have a giant role, but it's not to pastor the flock. Not currently. There was a time when that was necessary. And there was a time when if it wasn't for a woman, they wouldn't have made it. For example, the woman that led the two spies down the balcony while the guys were looking for them in Jericho, letting them down the window and kept them a secret. The woman who stuck the spike through the guy's head because the men, David's army, could not catch him. She did. He would have lost that battle had it not been for her. God has used women many a times for wonderful things. But today, what they're doing today, especially in the Catholic era, because most of the ones I've seen are Catholic. I haven't seen them all, but the ones that have stuck out to me, like the one that's in Washington, D.C. talking, the one that was dressing down Trump that day, those are not good pastors. Those are wicked, of the synagogue of Satan type pastors. Question, says Kevin, what is the books of Ezekiel? Ezekiel is a book in the Bible, and Ezekiel saw some things that were very interesting and very close to the things that Enoch saw a generation prior. Ezekiel is just a character in the Bible, and he has quite an interesting book. And there's only one book of Ezekiel that I'm aware of. Still didn't get it right. I know who you're talking about, though. John says, all those headaches from churches that create division and all that gossip are 95% of the time from the women of those churches, in my personal experience. I don't know if it's everyone's experience. No, that's what I'm talking about. And that's why Paul wrote that verse about chattering in the church and how women shouldn't talk in church. It wasn't a sexist thing that women shouldn't talk. It was they shouldn't talk in church because that's what they were doing. But men shouldn't do that either. He just pointed it out because in his experience at his time, that's what was happening, and he wrote about it. Amber says, I'm back. Hey, Amber. Hamburger helper Ann, hamburger helper Ann. Amy says, I've got it recorded, but I haven't watched it yet. A series called The Lost Books of the Bible. I've seen those. They're not lost, by the way. That's sensationalizing an idea. There are no lost books of the Bible. There were some that were taken out. They were not lost. Sorry, my chat jumped. John says, judging everyone and whispering, men don't generally do that. Right. Amy says, there's Amber. And Amy says, Jazz Jennings? Is that who you're talking about? Jazz Jennings? Is that transgender girl that doesn't really want to be a transgender girl, but her mom talked her into it? If so, I do know who that is. But I'm not aware of anything she's doing currently. Kevin says, hello, Fab Daddy. Amber says, my internet dropped again. See, I told you that's what happened. Amy says, I agree, Mr. P. Amber says, 12 here, question mark. 13. Looks like 13 currently. Amber says, hello again. Hello, Amber. Amber, have you met John? Mr. Faflios? John P.? John says, I would always keep quiet and pay attention to the pastor. I also hung around dudes who did the same thing. Right on. Yeah, I think if you're going to show up to a church, you should listen to the pastor. And if you trust the pastor, if he earns your trust, you should give him the benefit of the doubt and pay attention to what he's trying to teach and try to learn what he's trying to give you. Because I can assure you, I'm not doing this for my health. I'm doing it for yours. And Amy says Episcopal churches too. Right on. I don't know much about Episcopal churches, but I know about Pentecostal holinesses. My church was like one step away from those that handle the snakes. They're up in Tennessee, and they're just a little bit crazier than the church I went to. Not by much, though. Amber says, doobie time. Down around the corner. Half a mile from here, watch them freight trains roll, and then you watch them disappear without love. Where would you be now? Without love. Oh, you're talking about something else? Sorry. Redeem says, good answers, thanks. My pleasure. What?
That's the Dubious Brothers, not the Doobie Time.
Oh, I see. I knew there was a doobie there somewhere. What it is says Geno Jennings is a pastor. Look him up on YouTube. He's a preacher that comes out of the Bible. And there's people that question him saying, you're wrong. And he'll go back and he'll point it out to them. He pointed out to them and tell them that they're wrong for what the Bible says, word for word. And the people come misinformed, and he puts them back in their place. Well, I've never heard him speak, so I can't agree or disagree, and I'm not going to throw any shade on a fellow pastor, but I will go listen to him, and if I think he's got a point, I'll let you know. But you already have a pastor that does that. You don't need to. Stay here. Redeem says, my favorite pastor is John MacArthur. I don't know who that is either. I'm sure I've heard him, though. I've heard a lot of pastors. Debbie says, one of the dressing down Trump was Episcopal. The Episcopal Church has lost its way. Yeah, I don't doubt that. Amy says, Redeemed 2022 is a handsome fellow. Hey, Redeemed, you got a friend. What it is, isn't it so that if a man's present, the man is supposed to be praying that the woman should... Hold on, my chat jumped. Hang on. Isn't it so that if a man's present, the man is supposed to be praying that the woman should stay there and listen unless there is not a man present, and then it's okay for the woman to pray or lead prayer? No, that might be a Catholic thing. No, anybody can pray to God, male or female, and if you're in a church, you should be led by a pastor who is strong and who is wise and who is well versed in what he is teaching, to the point that he always has an answer for your questions, that he's thought through it enough that he knows where you're lacking so that he can give you what you do not have. That's what it's supposed to be. Yes, technically a woman can do that job, but in today's world, that is not the case with the women that are out there doing it. There are some women that are good pastors, I'm sure. I'm not speaking on behalf of all women, just the ones that I've seen in the spotlight doing it, and they're doing it wrong. I'm sure there's churches out there with female pastors that are doing a fine job. I don't know who they are, though. And I don't think that they're suited for that job. I think women are more emotional and less analytical than men are by nature. And I think that it takes an analytical mind to sift through the eons of stories and come up with some coherent legend that you can then follow. I think it's a man's job. I don't think that's a shade on a woman doing it, though, because there's a lot of brilliant women out there. But this idea that a woman should be quiet and let a man pray and that she shouldn't speak up unless there's a man there, that sounds like a Muslim thing to me, actually.
She's not beneath him.
No, she's not beneath him by no means. Women and men are equal in standing. There is a leader and a follower, but those jobs are, what's the word I'm looking for? Those jobs are agreed upon.
Yeah, those are marital agreed upon things.
Right. A woman follows a man not because she can't lead, but because he's a good leader. She follows him because that's his job to lead. Her job is to support him, and he can't do that. So it's a complementary thing. You choose to follow a leader. You don't follow one because he's over you. If so, you're in the wrong position. I would never follow anybody that lorded over me. A good leader would never ask one of his followers to do something that he hasn't or wouldn't do himself. That's a fact. And John says, I don't know who John MacArthur is, brother. I'll look him up. Yeah, my favorite pastor is Arnold Murray, and I don't agree with everything he taught because he came from that Horton Westcott period of time where things were a certain way. I don't agree with everything, but I think it's a great place to start. And I think you can't do any better than listening to that guy. Amber says, I received 2 candles and 2 shirts. Nice. Merry Christmas. What it is says, so with all these characters in the Bible, God is the great director. Well, no, what it is, they're not characters. Those people lived. They were real flesh and blood human beings. This is not a fairy tale. This is a history book. So he's not a director because they're not characters. They're real. All the world stage, yeah, that's Shakespeare, not Bible. And Redeem says, John, he's the old boring type, but he serves steaks. Hey, that's something. That's something right there. I don't even serve steaks.
No, I do. See?
Yep.
Woman.
Woman. Exactly. Yep. A woman, if properly suited, a woman can add touches to a man's ministry that would not be there otherwise, which are icing on the cake. Amy says, Amber, I said you have to swim through glitter and stickers to make coffee.
Right. Should be drinking coffee for the next year.
Mm-hmm.
Or drinking glitter.
And Amber says, Amy, you already know I'm pleasantly annoying. You are pleasantly annoying. And I love you. John says, redeemed? Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. I like old and boring most days. Also, like a bit of fire in a pasture, too, right? I like that, but I'm weary of it. But then again, I get excited, too. So it may just be a generation thing, like they're taught to be that way. They're taught to let the Spirit take over them and get excited.
The Holy Spirit could get a hold of you, too.
Yeah,
And you got no choice, so you can't control it.
And that may be, and I'm not downing that. I'm just saying it makes me a little nervous because I grew up in a Pentecostal church where they yelled most of what they were saying. You couldn't hardly understand them, and I didn't see the point in doing that. And I felt like it was fake.
Well, there's a difference between yelling and getting excited.
Amy says, my favorite pastor is Jake Johnson. Thank you, baby. I appreciate that very much.
Oh, Lord. Let me get out the door frame widener.
Debbie says the Catholic Church is Roman Catholic. The Episcopal Church is English Catholic. And they are exactly the same as far as services go. Ah, I got you. That makes a lot of sense. What it is says, hit that like button, everybody. Yes, please, hit the like button. Share the show with everybody you know. Be a pro.
Oh, Mr. P, you ain't been here in a while. I'm going to put a link in the chat. It's to our other Facebook page where you can comment on the Facebook page and post pictures and keep up with everybody. Yeah.
Join a group chat. Yeah. Follow the link that Amanda puts in the show, and that'll take you to Untethered Live Chillin', which is a new page, and it's just us. It's not the whole world, and you can interact. And it is regularly updated with things that are adjacent to the stuff that we teach on this channel. New videos, new things that I point out that I want people to see. It's very entertaining. You can text and video and chat and get to know everybody, and there's a group chat there where everybody can keep up with each other and share pertinent information you don't want to put in the chat here, like addresses and such. So it's a great place to be. And John says, my favorite also is Jake Johnson. Thank you, John. That means the world to me. I appreciate that. Amber says, what it is. I think I did. Facebook shared the first visit here tonight. Right on. John says, never had a pastor take the time to explain the Bible like Jake does. Man, that means the world. I appreciate that. And I am trying very hard to be that kind of pastor. Because I'm acutely aware that everybody hasn't been down the rabbit holes that I've been down and may not be able to see the whole thing like I see it. They may just be getting little bits and pieces from different people here and there and don't know how to see the whole thing as a reality that happened. So I try to paint a picture of an event that occurred in life. And these are real people. They have bad hair days and their armpits stink and they have to go shopping on Sundays to get potatoes to eat. You know, they're real people. They live and breathe. So I hope that I do a good job of that, and I appreciate that. Redeem says, John, I'll definitely look up Jake. That's me, by the way. And John says, I strongly believe when the Bible is explained right, the Bible is retained right. Yes, the Bible says that you must rightly divide the Word of God. Book, chapter, verse, explanation, understanding. That's the way I present it because I'm trying to rightly divide it. That means, and in case you wonder what that means, it means to read it in context. You can't just pick a verse here and there and then weave a narrative with verses you picked out of the Bible. You got to read the story of what's being said. You got to understand what they're talking about, who they're talking to, who's doing the talking and why. There's a reason for every word in the Bible. And there's a person that is expected to be the audience to every book that's in the Bible. So you got to know those things. And if you read it in context, it makes a whole lot more sense. And it's a whole lot less confusing than the way churches present it one verse at a time. That's why we spend so much time reading. Amber says, 7551, he explains in a way that I want to listen. I'm just saying. Who's that?
You.
Me?
Yeah.
Who said? Oh, John. I see it now. 7151. Yeah. Well, thank you, Amber. I appreciate that. You know, believe it or not, I pray that exact thing every time I do a Bible study. I pray before the show. One of the things I'll let you in on is I ask to have the wisdom and understanding and recall and forethought and the ability to make connections with the things I've learned in the past, with the things I'm reading and seeing today, and the ability to read and speak clearly and smoothly so that people want to digest what I'm trying to give them. That's one thing that I ask for, that I can present it in a way you want to hear. So God bless you for answering my prayer. Thank you. And John says, this is Jake Johnson that we're listening to, brother. That's me. Amy says, smiley face. And John says, this is a church, and Jake is the pastor. It is. It's a weird church, but it's a church. Amy says, OMG, I bought a package of hamburger the other day. I didn't know it was that expensive. Almost $9 for a little over a pound. Yeah, it can get up there, especially if it's low in fat content. Redeem says, amen. I can tell you have a good woman. Congrats on that. I do. And thank you. Amy says, I usually don't eat hamburger. I'm still shocked. I wouldn't be eating it if it was $9.
You do all the time. That's why I do the shopping.
Yeah. And John says, door frame widener. I'm going to have to pass on that.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to have to pass that on. Yeah, she thinks it makes my head big to get properly complimented.
No. I don't think it makes your head big to get properly complimented. And properly complimented is one thing, but when they try to swell your head with a compliment, then I got to deal with it. You don't fit through the door frame.
Well, that's a lovely thing to tell people.
It's the truth, and you should feel that way because you've done a lot of work to get where you are.
Which means they're telling the truth, not swelling my head.
They're still swelling your head. That spoils you.
There's the link to the page if anybody wants to check it out, John. Amy says the female voice that you hear is the pastor's wife, Amanda.
Yes.
Who apparently does not want him to feel like he's doing a good job.
Anyway.
And John says, okay then, great. What it is a woman has a great feel when they scratch your back with their fingernails, ever so slightly. It's kind of stimulating, you know. You're talking about sort of tickling. Yes, I'm well versed in that subject. When I can get it.
Whatever.
Debbie says, and you can share pictures
Of your pickles.
of your pickle. You can share pictures of your pickles. Just make sure that your pickle has a package on it, if you know what I'm saying. Keep your pickle in the jars, boys.
When you can get it. Okay, we'll see how long it is for I'll do that for you now. Spoiled rotten. See, there you go, right there. That's what I'm talking about. You spoiled rotten self. I don't know what to do with him, y'all. He's spoiled.
Amy says, sharpening our nails and finding the weak spots. Feels good now, but don't make her mad.
Thanks, Debbie.
John says, Debbie, smiley. Amy says, I watched a video of a pastor. He made up a Bible verse just to test his congregation, and no one called him out on it. But he called them out, as he should. I hope that he doesn't make a habit of doing that, because that could mislead people, but I understand why he did that. And I understand that he was trying to test their following along and understanding what they're reading. I see why he did that.
Yeah, but that could be a bad reflection on him too, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't keep your congregation engaged enough to follow you and understand. Then I mean, you might have a problem.
When Amy starts asking me questions about unique Bible verses that we've covered, and when she says things like, yeah, see, I was paying attention. That's what you're supposed to get when you read something to somebody.
Right.
You're supposed to remember what you read. If you're not rememberable, you're not pastoring right.
Or we're in the next week's Bible study and we were like, hey, we were just talking about this last week. Or
Right. Amber says, hamburger helper hand. Surprised heart being held up in a loft in a crowd. John says, Jake, your noggin looks just the right size to me. Thank you, John. I appreciate that very much. What it is says, I can deal with pain, Amy. That's why they call it hurt so good. True. Amy says, smiley, smiley. Debbie says, age-old question. When does pain become pleasure? Kevin is still trying to figure that one out.
Me too.
When it goes from to That's when.
Well, can we get to the other part already?
I hear you. Well, it's been a lovely Christmas. I hope you guys have all had a wonderful day, wonderful family time, wonderful gifts, and a little bit of love on the back end from old Jake and Amanda.
Yes.
And I want you all to know that there's no place on earth I'd rather be even bed. And that's a fact. I could have took a nap when I got home, but I stayed awake so I could be alert for this. Amy says, when does pain become pleasure? A tattoo, it hurts at first, but eventually becomes pleasant and relaxing. Not in my experience. I hated every second of mine. John says, just in case everyone here doesn't know, Sundays and Mondays are serious Bible study nights, and the rest is a never know what you're gonna get type of deal. Right on.
Yes, that's the truth.
Yeah, we study the Bible on Sunday and on Monday, and on Wednesday and Friday we chill and hang out and get to know each other and just have fun, and on Saturday we do a political night, which goes every direction but politically usually.
Yeah, right. Very rarely do we hit political, and if we do, it's not but for a minute.
So be it. I offered it, but whatever people want to talk about, that's what we're going to talk about. And then we do some other stuff on the side, like Hyperbole and the occasional short videos and things like that. So there's all kinds of good stuff to look out for. But on Sunday and Monday, that's when you get the Word of God and nothing but. And thank you for pointing that out, John. I don't always advertise properly. Amy says Saturday is usually a troll night. Yeah, because we go vertical. John says politicking can get a bit iffy. Well, the whole point of it's to argue. More speech is the answer to bad speech, not less speech. So the whole idea is to butt heads with ideas and see which idea rises to the top. And so we have to kind of agree to disagree ahead of time and still be friends. And so it can get heated, but it's all in the confines of politics. That's why I called it that. Debbie says, I would rather snuggle with Jake's feet, but Amanda won't let me.
Oh, Debbie, you can cuddle his feet if you want. If it make you feel better, you can cuddle his feetsies.
I'm guessing I have to keep the foxes on, though. Well, my feet need love, too.
I was gonna say, next time he's rubbing them up and down my legs, I'll think about you.
Debbie says, thanks, Amanda.
Much love, Debbie.
That's what friends are for right there. Amy says, here lately, though, we've been getting the holier than thou trolls at Bible study night. Yeah, they've been trying. That I chalk up to getting flack when you're over the target. Satan doesn't bother you if he's already got you. The only time he perks up is when you're doing God's word the right way. So that is what that is.
Definitely, Mr. P.
John says the Charlie Kirk ordeal went down when I was banned, and I was upset over that, as were we. I did a show about it, and it was the biggest show we've had so far.
That was disgusting.
It's the only show I've ever had go viral. It wasn't a big viral, but it was viral to me. But that's what happens when Satan takes over. Bad things happen. What it is says, yeah, I got a card from Jake and Amanda, and I bought myself $600 worth of massages, and I bought a Cracker Jack, a welder, for Christmas, and I spread some love on Christmas Eve. Well, that's awesome, man.
Nice.
That sounds like you had a good Christmas. Amy says, R.I.P. Charlie Kirk. And what are you going to weld with that Cracker Jack welder? And I appreciate you spreading love on Christmas Eve. Hey, Madison. Madison says, hiya, Jake and everyone. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, too.
Hi, Madison. Merry Christmas.
I hope you're doing well tonight.
Hope you had a good Christmas. Staying warm.
And what's going on your way?
How are you doing from the other night? We haven't talked to you since.
That's right. I've seen Mabel and Hannah a couple of times since then, but you hadn't been in since. Are you okay? Hello, hello, my old friend. I will see you in the end. Amber says, hugs, y'all. I'm going to turn up some music and clean the kitchen. I love y'all, and thank you for not letting a lady be alone on Christmas. Absolutely. I love you too, Amber.
Good night, Amber, hon.
Enjoy cleaning your kitchen. Amy says, hey, Madison. And John says, Merry Christmas to you. Madison says, I'm doing all right. More worried about the girls. I know Mabel has been very on edge since. I bet. That was a shaking ordeal. But she's tough. She can handle it. And she's got a friend like you, so that's a load off right there. No, you didn't, Amy. I hope I didn't run redeemed off my comment about him being handsome. I apologize if it offended him. It did not. Nobody's getting offended by being called handsome. He just became a member, so he's probably still here. Redeemed, are you still with us?
I'll say him and Mr. P were talking a minute ago.
Yep. He might have fell asleep. It is late. And, you know, Christmas dinner has a way of doing that to you.
Quickly.
I might fall asleep on you.
He's going to fall asleep uploading the show tonight, I bet you.
Yep. Head right down on the desk.
Nope, he did that the other night and I scared him. Like, are you coming to bed? He pops up real quick.
It's a good way to give a guy a heart attack.
He's like, huh?
Madison says, was Santa good to everybody? Oh, yes. We had a lovely Christmas. And John says, I'm pretty sure he's made out of sturdier stuff than that to be chased off, right? Yeah, I don't think any man's going to be running from handsome. It's nice to feel handsome.
Jake's sister kept telling him he smelled good.
I do smell good. I'm a sexy beast, what can I say?
She's like, he smells so good.
John says, oh, well. That's that secret cologne.
I know. Your crazy girlfriend got it for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's the good shit.
That's the good stuff.
Drive all the women wild.
Like that cartoon when you put a pie on the windowsill and somebody comes floating up to it.
Uh-huh.
I'm the pie on the windowsill. Madison says, you know what they say about guitar players? If they don't find you pretty, at least they'll find you handy. That's a fact.
Thanks, Madison.
Willie Nelson said, when you're ugly, you got to be twice as cool, and I live by that. Amy says, I watched A Christmas Story 3 times today. It was on loop on TNT. Wow.
I like Polar Express. It's a cute movie.
Debbie says, I got a new pair of slippers, black with gray fur trim. I love them.
Nice.
Nice. I got a new pair of boots. 2 new pair of boots. And one for the house and one for work. Except I think one was for my birthday.
Yes.
Yeah. Madison says, I've been watching Bugs Bunny for the last week.
Since we were talking about it.
That's right. That's the good stuff.
It's hilarious, isn't it, Madison? And you sit back and think, man, we grew up on this stuff. It's a lot more violent as an adult, though, isn't it?
What it is I'm going night-night. I got to get up at 4 a.m. for work. Me too, buddy. Good night and God bless. Thank you for being here, what it is.
Good night, what it is.
Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas. Don't work too hard tomorrow.
Amy says, I've never watched a Polar Express.
Oh, you got to watch that. That's a great movie.
It's a good movie. A little weird to look at, but it's a good movie.
It's not weird to look at.
It's 90s anime.
Okay, it's still a good movie.
Amy says, good night, what it is. And John says, I never walk anywhere around my home without my slippers, right? LOL. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm a slipper person too.
Madison says, yep, I went all the way back to the 50s and just started going. So many inside jokes I didn't get as a kid.
Right.
Yeah, I'm partial to Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner. That's my favorite one. And I also like Tom and Jerry.
Bunch of dirty inside jokes.
Yeah, what it is, what it is. Bugs Bunny's kind of risque. Especially the older ones, because cartoons were not intended for children at first. They kind of went that way, but originally cartoons were intended for adults. So there's a lot of adult humor in the early cartoons, the Fleischer cartoons and such. Linda says, good night, what it is. And John says, good night, everyone. I'm glad I got to hang out with some of good folks tonight. Well, I'm glad you're back, John. I hope you keep coming back. We miss you around here.
Yes. Good night, Mr. P. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and have a lovely evening. Madison says, very clever, LOL. Yes, it is. Amy says, come back soon, Mr. P. Mark Colin, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Mark. Hi.
Mark says, wavy hand. Linda says, good, Mr. P. Heart. Good night, Mr. P. Heart. And John says, heart, 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 heart. And in that order. And Linda says, good night, all. Heart. Good night, Linda. I love you, sweet lady.
Good night, Linda. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Amy says, hi, Mark. I'm not far behind you. I'm about to go to bed, too, because I got to get up and go to work in the morning.
If your boss man's recovered.
Yeah, I have to work tomorrow. He might not.
He's probably not recovered enough to work.
Right. Amy says, good night, Cookie. I'm going to try to make it to 10:30. Then I'm going to bail.
I hope everyone had a good day.
Mark says, I love y'all. I hope y'all have a good Christmas. Had a good Christmas. Well, I hope you did too, and we did. What did Santa Claus bring you, Mark? Linda says, good night, Amy. Heart. I'm going to have a nice, pretty smile in the next couple of days. And it's time.
Yep.
And I've been chopping on these for 20 years. It's time for a new set. Boy, everybody got quiet all of a sudden. How about them Braves? Madison says, I got a new snowboard goggles for myself, LOL. Wrapped them a month ago. Hey. Well, if you're by yourself, you got to be yourself.
Right.
Be your own Santa Claus. I hear you.
You even wrapped them for yourself too, huh? That's sweet.
Well, had I known that, I would have sent you some gifts. I didn't know you were by yourself. But I love you. I hope that helps some. You can think about it while you're wearing your goggles. Amy says, Madison, I bought myself a Christmas gift too. New socks and a fleece-lined leggings. Nice. I bet those are warm and cuddly. I like fleece-lined jackets. I don't think I could handle the leggings, but I'm masculine enough to pull off the jackets.
Oh, you probably could if you were in Indiana.
Probably.
Mr. Two pair of pants when you go out for work.
No, a pair of sweatpants under my pants keeps me warm. Gotta stay warm. Gotta survive. If I don't survive, nobody survives.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it really is.
Yep.
Sometimes I put on 2 pair of socks, too. Mark says, same. I bought myself Christmas gifts, a new stiletto hammer, $500 in, $500 for a hammer? Jesus.
No doubt.
Just get an East Wing and be done with it, man. You can get one of those for like $15, $20.
A $500 hammer, it better swing itself.
Damn right. Better have a Mexican attached to it. Madison says, I always do it every year. I usually spend Christmas with my family, but it's been a long and expensive year, so I decided to skip it, LOL. Going for dinner at my parents' tomorrow, though. Well, that's good.
Well, yeah, that's nice.
I'm sorry you skipped it, but Merry Christmas. This is Christmas. Us, we're family. We're here together, so you're one of us. Mark says, the new Johnson 2 foot level, $200. Where are you buying tools at, man?
And what are you buying these tools for? It's that damn expensive.
Are you telling me that a 2 foot level is $200? Have you been to Lowe's? They got them for like $20. Debbie says, I didn't buy myself anything because I was a bad girl this year. Oh,
You bad girl, Debbie. I'm still stuck on this $500 hammer. I want to see this $500 hammer because I want to see if it swings itself.
I had a $60 East Wing since I joined the industry, but it's time to buy forever tools or levels. I hear you. I understand that for sure, but that's a bit excessive. I've got an old wooden one that I've been using for 25 years, and it still does the job. It's ugly, but it does the job. That is my forever level. I don't think I paid anything for it. I think I picked it up on a job site somewhere.
What do you do, Mark?
Construction, obviously.
Clearly. What type of construction?
Amy says, Mark, they aren't making rulers anymore. They aren't making rulers any longer. I got it. Mark said, I read that one. Mark says, Amy, smiley face. Amy says, $500 hammer must be from the government.
Well, it needs to be. It needs to have its own green card.
I don't want a $500 hammer. That would make me feel obligated to work. Gotta pay for this damn hammer.
Right. That'd be like going on the Snap-on truck.
Mm.
Now, I used to get in trouble on there. I ain't gonna lie about that.
I get buying expensive tools, but that's an expensive tool. That's way too expensive. You can buy a damn air hammer for $500 and the air compressor.
I mean, I spent some money on the Snap-on truck that I'm not proud of, but I had it.
Madison says, I asked if Mabel wanted me to come over, but I don't know what's going on with her, and she wasn't responding to my texts. And then I called her and talked for like 5 minutes, and she rushed to hang up. Well, maybe she's just feeling rough today.
Yeah, maybe she's missing Vic or something.
Yeah, they are separated, so I would imagine that's hard on her. And it could be that her and Hannah are fighting. Might not have anything to do with you, so don't jump to that conclusion.
Yeah, they were here earlier.
Were they?
Thought, yeah.
I didn't see them tonight.
I think they came in and said hi.
I didn't see them tonight. That was last night.
Just hold on.
They did come in and say hi last night, but that's all. They didn't stick
I
around.
think they came in tonight and said hi.
If they did, I missed it.
No, it was at the beginning of the show.
Bill Bennett says, Merry Christmas, fam. Hey, Bill. Merry Christmas to you too, buddy. How was your day? Amy says, hi, Bill. Heart. I don't know, Madison. If I see her, I'll ask her if she's feeling all right. Madison says, nope, I know. I know it's not me. I'm just worried about them. I understand. I am too. Amy says, love y'all. I'm having an asthma attack. I need a breathing treatment, and see y'all next time. Amy, God bless you, sweet lady. I hope you get to feeling better. And let me know if you need anything, and I'll see about getting that tea out to you.
Good night, Amy. Feel better, hon.
Sweet dreams. I love you, true.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Hi, Bill. Merry Christmas.
What did Santa Claus bring you, Bill? Amy says, call me Wheezy, because I'm moving on up.
Moving on out.
To the east side. To a deluxe apartment in the sky. Beans don't fry in the kitchen. Corn don't grow on the grill. I forgot the rest of this song, but I'll sing it to my will. I think I'm going to eat a honey bun and pass out. That's what I'm going to do. I might upload this video tomorrow. No, I'll get it done. I can't crap out yet.
Speak for yourself. I might be asleep by the time you get in here.
Can't eat just one, says Bill. I know, right? I love honey buns. I love them too good.
He's lying. He's going to have snickerdoodle cookies.
I might have a snickerdoodle cookie. She does have some of those. And Madison says, my older sister has asthma, and I told her if a killer is ever chasing us, it's her or me. I'm taking her inhaler. bad
Damn,
girl.
Madison.
We ain't got to outrun him. I have to outrun him. You're out of luck.
You ain't got no fighting chance. You are SOL. Probably. If he could find somewhere to put it.
Bill says, I'm betting you're having both.
And probably it probably wants some ice cream to go along with it too.
No, I am still full.
I don't know where you're putting it.
I don't know where I'm going to put no ice cream. Debbie says, I just learned Amanda's nickname is Honey Bun. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he calls me that. He calls me all kinds of things.
Madison says, same thing they say about bears. If one's chasing you, you only have to be faster than your friend, not the bear. Right. Amen to that. And if a bear's chasing me, you can bet your ass I ain't worried about you. I'm getting out of there. That's not true, but still. My father got hunted by a bear once. I've never been in that situation. But when I was a kid, there was a big 9-foot grizzly bear skin hanging on our barn. Every now and then, my dad would take it down because the game warden was coming by. But the story I was told was that he was out in the woods hunting, and he felt like something was behind him, and he felt like he was being stalked, but he never could find anything. So he went across the field and climbed up in a tree and waited, and here come that big grizzly bear chasing him. And he shot him. And I've got a necklace now with the claws from that grizzly bear that I've had since my birth, since before I was born. And it's got a big arrowhead right in the middle of it, about that big, an ancient Indian arrowhead, and those claws are the size of my fingers. So it was a big bear, about 9 feet tall. And it was quite the talk of the town. Kevin says, I went for coffee and got caught up in the football game. Right on. And Madison says, they'll track you for several kilometers before you even know they're there. Right. And that's what happened to my dad, but he shot him. He said he felt like somebody was watching him. The hair on the back of his neck would stand up, but he never did see him. So the guy, that bear that was tracking him was awful stealthy. He climbed up in a tree and waited, and the bear came to the tree trying to get him, and he shot him. That was quite the story. Hair raiser. Debbie says, if anyone ever sees me running, they better start running too, because I ain't running for my health, right? That's a fact. Man, getting out of Dodge. Speaking of running, I'm about to run towards my bed. God bless each and every one of you. I love you all true from the bottom of my heart. I do. I've had a great time tonight, and I hope you have had too. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Good night.
Good night. God bless, and I will see you guys tomorrow night for your regularly scheduled program, Chill Stream on a Friday night. Madison says, my daddy always told me, if you feel like you're being followed in the woods, you are, and you better get the F out of there before it catches up with you. Agreed. Yes, ma'am. I'm glad you had a daddy that taught you how to function in the woods. Bill Bennett says, good night. Kevin says, good night, everybody. And Madison says, good night, Jake and Amanda and everyone. And good night, everyone. I love you. I'm out. Have a great night, and thanks for watching. Amanda? Amanda?
Good night, everybody. See you tomorrow.